All right, good day, everyone. I trust you're all doing well today, and it's fantastic to connect with others and spread positive energy. Remember, prioritize your own well being and that of those around you. Make the most of your day with joy, laughter, productivity, and let's have an amazing day. Ugh. That was disgusting. I didn't like the taste of that at all. It doesn't seem like anything a Gen Xer would actually ever say unless we were completely, totally being patronizing to someone, which, let's be honest, it's like a hobby to some of us. We enjoy it. It makes our day. It makes the world go around. And for a lot of us, it's a reason we get up in the morning. But anyhow, the topic I want to go on today is lately many questions have been getting directed towards the Gen X generation, right? Okay, so lately we've been sitting here having a lot of questions I've been seeing coming up online all over the place, and I gathered a few together because there have been many questions have been directed towards the Gen X generation. It's interesting to be in the spotlight now that our children are growing up and experiencing the realities that we told them about and we warned them about. But of course, idiot teachers and crap, I mean, some of them had it a little too good, didn't realize, because we always stress the importance of prioritizing yourself above and beyond anybody else in life, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to care, and nobody else gives a goddamn shit about your feelings except you and your family. But even that being said, family would tease you and challenge you and beat you down as much as they could, because we always said it makes you strong and it builds character. So now, with all that shit out of the way, let's get to the fun and answer some questions. All right, first question I see coming up here is, why does Gen X not understand the mute feature on a conference call? First off, we understand the mute feature on a conference call. You idiots are thinking boomers. We're now constantly, by the youngest millennials and the Gen Zs, are constantly getting confused with boomers. You see, boomers are all in the retirement age now. Gen X are the heart of the age that runs everything. Unless you get into politics and then everybody's in their 70s and 80s, it appears, and they all run shit, or they're damn near millennial age and running shit, because Gen X stayed out of politics because we hated it. Anyhow, when it comes to the conference call, we know how to use the mute button. And I know people are talking about when someone is on there and they are chewing with their mouth open while on the call, maybe grabbing a lunch while they're having their meeting. I can tell you for a fact that no Gen Xer would ever do that, because if we did, we'd get one of these across the back of the face, knock you right out of your chair when you're a kid. And that's a fact. We all experienced it. And it wasn't always our own parents that did it. Sometimes it was the folks of your friend. Because the rule then was, if you were in their house or on their property, by golly, they would whoop your ass if you screwed around and did something you weren't supposed to. Now, another question you get and people asking, it's like, why do Gen Xers always look like they're in severe pain when they take a selfie? Because we hated photos. We didn't like photos because we knew one thing that a lot of younger kids don't know now. And you notice there's not a lot of photos of Gen X doing stupid shit, because we weren't dumb enough to record or take pictures or video of the shit we did. There's the odd picture out there and it's taken by a parent. Because I guarantee you can sit there and if you comb through anybody, especially the Gen Xers in the 70s, I'm not talking like the 81, 82 ones, but anybody born in the 70s and you were 2 or 3 or 4 years old in that time, their parents will take a picture and there will be one where that kid is holding a beer and a cigarette, because that was childhood as a Gen X. Now, another one is, why did Gen X people always make calls in public while on speaker and yell instead of talk? Again, you're confusing generations. That is the older millennials. It's them that do that. And it's not because they're on speaker, it's because it's the millennials and the older Gen Zs that do this shit, because they're rude, arrogant, and there's nobody else in the world but them, and they're always on some sort of goddamn FaceTime or all that other shit, and they're watching this crap. Again, that's not a Gen X thing, because we don't give a shit We got one more for you here. What's with Gen X love a 2% milk? Well, that's an easy one. Nobody liked whole milk because it's way too fatty and it's like drinking straight ass creamer. And most people didn't like milk directly from the cow. And that's a lot what whole milk or 3.5% tastes like. And skim milk, well, that tastes like you just poured a bunch of frickin' water into your milk. Nobody wanted that. So you go at 2%. It was the best middle ground there was. Voila. And if there wasn't quite enough for cereal, it was fatty enough and everything. You could add a little bit of water and you could still have your breakfast in the morning. That's why Gen X loved 2% milk. Why did Gen X men find a random brand and choose to make that their personality trait? Well, that's easy. That's a throwback to our parents and older siblings and a thing that once time was called brand loyalty. And that was usually based on more because it was a local manufacturer and they provided a lot of jobs. So you were loyal to that brand because it benefited everybody. That's not the case anymore because nothing ever anymore is made near home or at home. And it says, made in China, Taiwan, Bangladesh, India, Korea. It doesn't matter anymore. There's no such thing as brand loyalty anymore. So that's one of those things. And here's one for millennials, and it's going to be happening for you Gen Zers as well. What's with Gen X and boomers? And this pre-question I read, yeah, they're right. It's Gen X and boomers always asking millennials if they were at the club the night before when they show up for work tired, and they're like, well, no, it's Tuesday. There's no club. Why, you only club on Friday and Saturday? We're asking that because we know darn well when we were your age, it didn't matter what day of the week it was. If we rolled in tired, it was because we'd worked all night and then we partied half the night and we slept 2 hours, got up and went to work. I tell you, I was working one time this one place when I was like 19. I was working at this restaurant and me and the 3 owners and the other staff, I closed. So we would shut down at 11 o'clock. I started at 2. We'd shut down at 11. We'd head to the bar. We'd be to the bar until 3:15 in the morning, and then we'd go to a party afterwards, and then I'd finally get home, and I'd pass out around 9:30, 10 in the morning, get up at 1 o'clock, have a quick shower, and head back to work. That's why we're always asking you if you were out at the club all night or partying all night if you show up for work tired, because that's what we did. And we figured that you weren't dumb enough to actually just sit at home and stay up all night staring at fucking TikToks on your screen or other shit all night long, that you were actually out having fun. Now, this is where this got to. That's where that went. And that's the questions we had for now. And I want more. You got questions? Ask them. I'll answer them. I'll be truthful. Just the same as the stories I'm telling, I'll be truthful. I got another story coming up today. Later, we're a little older. And as my kid says, she tells me all the time that you should tell more stories and you should tell them all and you should come out here and you should tell them. But most people are going to believe they're fiction because she's like, there's no way anybody did that kind of shit. Well, I'll tell you what, my stories ain't all that fiction because there's tens of thousands of Gen Xers out there just like me that done the exact same shit that I'm going to be telling you about. The only difference is we didn't document it all the time because we knew there would be consequences down the road if there was actual evidence. And as long as there's no video and there's no cameras and there's no police records or court reports, we know nobody can prove nothing and we can talk and everyone will just say we're blowing smoke up our ass. And we sit and we laugh and you have no idea how great it was to be us. So this is Drac saying until then, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Ring that bell as everybody likes to say. Give a comment, let me know. I'm getting steady. I'm picking up a couple of subscribers here and there. Steady on the views. I want to grow. I want to go live. I want to interact and talk directly to the audience. I'd like to hit 500 subscribers before the first time I go live. So hopefully at least 20 or 30 of you will happen to be online at the same time. I know that's a grand goal, but it don't take much for me. I will come on and I will talk for 4 hours if I keep one person interested, because that's the way a Gen Xer is. We don't need 20,000 people to tell us who we are or what we're like or if we're any good. If we got one person listening, We'll talk all day. So this is Jack saying bye-bye for now, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.